Okay, folks, this should be the last of these videos for now, unless you guys have questions that I feel like need to be addressed via video. So if you watched all of these, kudos to you. If you didn't, that's not going to surprise me, but that's okay. This is probably my way of trying to be helpful, but probably more just wanting to, record videos and be a complete fantasy football nerd. So thank you for indulging me if you've actually been watching these. So this one is just dealing with the taxi squad. You have the opportunity to take 2 rookies and place them on your taxi squad, which for this year would mean that their contract wouldn't expire until 2028. It is completely optional. You do not have to do it. But by doing it, it clears up 2 roster spots so that when we do the free agent mini draft after week 4, you'll have space to put those players into. But if you choose not to use the taxi squad, you also have the option of moving players to the IR, and that gives you more spaces, or you even have the option of dropping players in order to make space for those 2 mini draft spots. Now, if you just don't want to change anything, you love your roster, you don't want to add any players in the free agent mini draft, then you just leave it as is. You do not have to participate. But the most typical way that guys participate is to take 2 players and place them on the taxi squad, and then that opens up 2 spaces on their roster. So with Dylan's example here, let's go ahead and assume that this is the way that his rookie picks have panned out. He's got 3 rookies. He's got his 2 taxi squad guys from last year. So he's going to say, all right, I want to do Quentin Johnston and Michael Mayer, and he moves those 2 over here. So the idea is you want to move rookies that have value long-term, but may not get much play this year. Or it could be that, you're already really strong at tight end. So you would want to put the tight end there because it might be another year. Like for Dylan's team, he's got Mark Andrews on a franchise tag. So it makes sense to put off Michael Mayer until next year, because next year he might need to look for a new solution since his primary tight end is expiring. His contract is expiring. So you take those 2 players and you move on to the taxi squad. Now, the way you do that has nothing to do with this spreadsheet. And most of you have done this before. Actually, probably all of you have done this before at this point. You just go into the Sleeper app. Right now, if you try to assign them to the taxi squad, it won't work because I turned it off, because I don't want you to have the extra roster spaces right now while you're still adding and removing players for your team. But once rosters lock this weekend, then you'll be able to, I'll open up those 2 taxi squad spots, and then whenever you would like to add your players to them, you can. All right. So pretty simple. I think that's it. And like I said, ask questions below the videos or just message them in our group chat, our text message chat, and I'll try to address anything that doesn't make sense. All right. Thanks, guys. I think that's it. Happy fantasy football season.